Hi Gemini, how are you? Welcome back. Yes, I am back and it has been a good few months. I know. I'm so sorry that I've been absent, but to cut a very long story short, crazy end of 2018, opportunities came, I took them, I walked away from some to focus on something from the highest good, and I'm so glad I did because I finished that project and now I can be back consistently doing your monthly astrology and readings. So thank you for everybody who's held out. I thank you for your likes, shares and subscribes. If you bought something from the Spiritual Parlour store, personal readings, all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much if I've had any kind of personal interaction with you. I'm back to doing personal readings and I'm doing a spring special. I've been very inspired by angel numbers. So one question, €11, 11 cents, two questions, €22 and 22 cents. All the links are below, and all the horoscopes and astrology stuff that you guys have been ordering as well, all the links are below. So in terms of astrology for you, Gemini, it's a pretty quiet month. The only thing that's happening is we've got your ruling planet Mercury going into retrograde around the new moon in Pisces around the 5th. As always, as any astrologer will tell you, plan, communicate, be careful with IT and stuff like that, because Mercury, your ruling planet, which rules things like travel and IT, can cause some problems when he goes into retrograde. He did for me in a serious way towards the end of last year during Mercury retrograde. So that's the only exciting thing going on for Gemini. Other than that, we've got Mars moving into your influence around the 31st of March as well. Mars is the planet of motivation, determination, drive. You are third house rulers, so you rule our thoughts, our thinking, our learning, our travel, our childhood experiences. So having Mars under your influence could bring a lot of mental stimulation for a lot of us generally. I mean, this is just general. Check where Gemini rules in your birth chart, and wherever Gemini rules is where Mars will be, and it could be that house of life that you experience Mars under Gemini. So let's get into it. Let's see what the cards have to say to you, because there's not much astrology for you this month, Gemini. Okay, Spirit, there's a message for Gemini. Sun, Moon and Rising. Okay, first card's fallen out. We've got the Queen of Cups. So this is a card of intuition, caring, nurturing, represents all the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But taking astrology away from it, the Queen of Cups is someone who is very much in control with their emotions and very much in tune with not only their emotions but the emotions of other people as well. Okay, so what is the message for Gemini? If there's a message, please let me see it, feel it, hear it, understand it. First card will be Gemini's theme, second card will be their issue, third card will be the recent past for Gemini, fourth card will be the present, fifth card will be their advice, sixth card will be the potential outcome and the guidance. This is Gemini. Sun, Moon and Rising. Oh, what we got here? Card for Aquarius. Card for my energy. But taking the astrology away from it, the star card is about having hope and faith. Exactly that, the star. Following the hope, following the faith. I hope you guys can see these cards pretty well because they are sort of laminated with gold, one of my favourite decks. But they do reflect the light a lot. But this is the star card, and it is about having hope and having faith. That has just jumped out for you. If it's in your main message, we'll see. Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. Oh, that's too many, but we've got one here flipped. Forward movement. Six of Swords. So, sword suit. First of all, it represents you, all the air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, but the 6 is like the number of progression. After we get over the challenge of a 5 in tarot, like generally the 5s are quite challenging in numerology as well, 5 is generally a challenging number. So 6 is that little bit of forward movement, that little bit of progression. Sword suit represents how we think and also how we experience our challenges in life. This is like the challenging suit. So it's exactly that, packing up your swords and moving forward, moving from the rough waters into the calmer waters. Alright, let's get your main message. Let's pull your 6 cards. Okay, what does Gemini need to know? We're really pulled here, Gemini, so we're going to read from the middle deck. Bottom of the deck energy for you this month is the King of Wands. So, confidence, particularly with the King of Wands. The King of Wands is like a energy of motivation, knowing where you're going, determination. He is a very, very confident leader. His energy is a lot like the Queen of Wands, and it doesn't matter whether you're male or female watching this. Keeping it general, it's just the energy. The King and Queen of Wands are the go-getters, yeah? So the difference between the King and the Queen for me personally as a reader is the Queen is, she's the one who will go out there and get what she wants, yeah? And she is the person who's very, very confident, or the energy of being very, very confident. The King is already there. He is the leader. He's not trying to go out and get stuff, he's got it. And he's leading everybody his way. You know, it's a very, very confident energy, representing all the fire signs as well. Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Almost forgot there for a minute. So let's see how that resonates. Okay, we've got the 2 of Cups. We've got the High Priestess. We've got the Hangman. We've got the Ace of Swords. It's quite funny because I just did Taurus. Is it Taurus? Taurus, and Taurus had this exact same card here. I believe it was Taurus. You've got your 6 of Swords again come out for you, so there is a Gemini who definitely needs to hear this. And look at that, the King of Pentacles here. Okay, and your underlying energy, leadership, business, passion, going after what it is that you want and leading the way forward. Okay, so let's take a quick look at this. Straight away, what I'm picking up here is definitely movement, and I'm feeling as though for some of you, you might make a very, very good connection this month in March, or maybe you have already made a good connection, but for some of you, it may still be yet to happen with the 2 of Cups. And I feel like this connection that you make, when you do make it, you will know if it's good for you. And also, once it has been made and once it has been established, you're being pushed to follow your own intuition, what it is you actually know at the moment is what I'm picking up here. In the recent past, it looks as though you may have been waiting for this to happen, waiting for this partnership to come around, but there's going to be a moment of clarity that's going to ultimately move you forward, and it feels like there's some real long-term stability here for you, Gemini. This feels very much to me like this could be a work or even a business reading for some of you. It doesn't feel like I'm picking up much love and romance, but it could be for some of you, keeping it general. But the energy I'm getting is a connection that is probably linked to your ability to earn, or a business venture, or a project, or something that's going to bring you some kind of security. Now, for some of you where this resonates as a relationship, relationships obviously are security. So you take how it resonates for you, Gemini, but I'm picking up more of like a business partnership. So you've got, as your theme and your issue for this month, or where we are now, whenever you get this, watch this video in divine timing, it feels like this connection's being made with the 2 of Cups, and it's very much a positive relationship. You know, the 2 of Cups for me is often partnership. Most of the time, a lot of the time, depending on what the cards come out with it are, but it can often indicate platonic partnerships, you know, unless there's like loads of love cards around it as well, and there's not a load of love cards around it in this case. It's more like just general partnership. Now, you're going to know when this partnership hits you, and as soon as it does, follow your intuition. In the recent past, if you've been waiting for this to happen, then I feel as though I'm being pushed to tell you that it's going to happen. And it will happen hopefully in the near future if you've been waiting to make that connection. Or maybe what's just been put to me, what I'm hearing is for some of you who are waiting for job offers, or waiting to hear about offers or connections with business, if there's been a bit of a wait, it's going to come through in the recent past. So what have you been waiting on, Gemini? What have you been waiting to hear about? It could be a job offer, it could be, with a relationship, however it resonates, but someone has been waiting on something. When you make this connection, I feel like it's going to be a very, very positive connection because you've got, the Ace of Swords here in the present. Now, the Ace of Swords for me is a lot to do with clarity, victory, clear thinking, and again, it's your energy because it's the sword suit. So it's going to be a very victorious relationship or partnership that you make. There's a lot of potential there, and it could even be that this has come around in divine timing for you as well, because the aces are those little nuggets of you could say good luck or energy that comes our way from the universe. We're highly supportive, so it's going to be a very, very good, successful partnership, and it's going to definitely move you forward. I feel for some of you, you may have been having some kind of trouble in the past. It could be to do with this waiting, or even you've had a little bit of a rough time with the Six of Swords here. It's fallen out again. It's come out as your advice. You're going to move forward if you have had that feeling, or if you have had that experience of a little bit of a rough patch. Could be with trying to get this thing off the ground, this business, this opportunity, this relationship, however it resonates. I keep feeling as though, as I keep saying, that it is more like business and work for some of you. But if you have that little rough patch, just know that you're going to move forward. There is going to be a journey, and what you're moving towards ultimately is that stability as your advice and your potential outcome. The King of Pentacles, the most secure king for me, the Pentacle suit, representing all areas of security in life, whether it's financially, emotionally, job-wise, relationship-wise. It's the ultimate level of feeling very, very secure and having everything around you that you need. The kings are very, very established as well. They're like the last court suit, so they're very, very established and very, very wealthy. The King of Pentacles has a lot going for him. Even if you're female watching this, as I said, it doesn't matter. The energy is having everything that you need, having that abundance is what's being put to me. So we're going to do a little bit of clarification around this partnership that's coming up here, to see what it could potentially be about. What does Gemini need to know about the Two of Cups? What is this Two of Cups energy? This partnership, this duality. That's 2 minutes. We've got one flip here. We've got the Page of Pentacles. So again, it's that offering of security. Pages are, the little offers that come to us. They're a bit like the aces, but for me, these are not the brand new opportunities of the ace. These are things that have maybe been started that we didn't finish, or things in the very, very early stages. They're not quite fully mature as yet. So as down here where I'm seeing and feeling overall long term, this partnership being quite victorious and moving forward with the Six of Swords here to some sort of long term security. As I said, the offer, your clarification card, is the Page of Pentacles for the Two of Cups, the partnership. The partnership is going to really offer you something, and I'm definitely feeling as though this is some kind of security, maybe even financial now as well. I do feel like this is a work reading or some kind of business or prosperity reading for someone who needs to hear it. But the offer is definitely going to be something that you should consider. Sometimes when we get these little offers, with these little page offers, especially with this particular page, we look at it and we think, oh, that's not really much. That's not a huge offer. But with the Page of Pentacles, I always feel very pushed to say, think of the long term, because that is what this suit is about. It's the long term, it's the stability. It's not just the here and now and what's on the plate now, it's what it could potentially be. So you will know, Gemini, with the High Priestess, the card of intuition, the card of inner knowing, you will know as soon as this offer and this partnership presents itself to you, and look out for what it is offering you in the long term. Don't just disregard it because maybe you don't see or feel any long-term potential at the moment, because there could well be, because of your overall advice and your potential outcome is the King of Pentacles. You go from like the Page to the King, and that's like a big jump in terms of security and stability. It could well be as well that if this is a relationship for some of you, that this security and this stability or this offer could come round from an earth sign person, a Virgo, a Taurus, or a Capricorn, or someone who has a lot of earth in their birth chart in terms of the signs that their planets are under the rulership of, or someone who generally is quite grounded, likes a lot of stability, likes to look at the bigger picture, not someone who's really an energy of, like, say for example, the page of wands, who's kind of like short term in the view. They're in it for the adventure, you know, with the page of wands, whereas the page of pentacles is in it for the long term. You know, so it certainly does feel like this partnership is going to be something quite long term for you. Let's take a look at this King of Pentacles. What does Gemini need to know about the King of Pentacles? What we've got here. I'll look at that, the Lovers. The Lovers has just fallen out for you, and you've got the Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So the Nine of the Cups is wish fulfillment. You know, cup suit being our emotions, how we feel inside, you know, our emotions. The Lovers. So again, as I said, guys, keeping this general, what I'm feeling is whatever this relationship is, whatever this represents for you, Gemini, whether it's a business relationship or a personal one that offers you this stability, you are going to know it, and it's going to be something that's going to probably, you're going to quite like it quite a lot. And this is the card for you. In the tarot, this is your actual true card in terms of astrology linked to tarot. You are the Lovers card. So you, yourself, this King of Pentacles, this long-term stability, it is going to come directly to you. This long-term stability, taking the astrology away from it, is going to be something, just going with the energy of the Lovers, something that is going to be quite dear to your heart, that you are in love with. It could be a person, situation, place, or thing. You take it how it resonates for you, Gemini. And ultimately, if you've been waiting, or if you still are waiting, I think the message here for you is, if you're someone who's still waiting for this to come in, it's coming in. If you're someone who is past the waiting stage, and you've already been presented with this relationship or partnership, business or personal, and you're not too sure about it, I think there's reassurance here that long term there's real potential with it, and it's going to be quite victorious, and it's going to move you forward in some way. Okay, so I'm going to pull you a fortune card, see what comes up here. What is the message for Gemini? What is the message for Gemini spirit in terms of fortune? What do my Gemini, my fellow air signs, need to know? What is the fortune message for Gemini? If there's a message, please let it be known. Oh, there we go. We know it's here. So bottom of the deck here, you've got spirit symbol, and your card that's fallen out, you've got karma. Dun dun dun. Karma, 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 and this feels very much to me like good karma. It feels like, as I said, with the Ace of Swords here, the divine timing, the nuggets from the universe, the backing that we get from the universe, it feels with your karma card that's fallen out that this relationship could be positive, a positive karmatic relationship. We have good ones and we have bad ones. We all have them. Ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends that gave us nothing but headache and all that kind of thing, and that we learn the hard way from. They're kind of all our karmatic relationships that aren't so positive. But this one feels like it's going to be a positive karmatic relationship, and it's something that I feel is quite due to you. You know, with the Hangman here in the recent past, Hangman can, you know, signify waiting, delays, seeing things from different perspectives as well. But what I'm picking up with the Hangman here in the past is more waiting. What was put to me when I first looked at the spread. So if you have been waiting for this to come in, I think your positive gift from the universe is well and truly on its way. It is well and truly on its way. And in case this is love for some of you, I'm going to pull you a romance angel card. In case this is love if that's how it resonates for some of you. Let's pull a love card, just because I'm feeling a good mood. Let's pull a love card. What's the love message for my Geminis? Oh, there we go. What's flipped? Unrequited love. Okay, this is interesting because it says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Now this is very, very interesting. This is an interesting card. So I feel personally, as this card has fallen out for you, and I always do take the cards that flip depending on how they flip, that this is a separate message for a Gemini who needs to hear it. Now, I don't feel that this is a strong link to this, because I feel like this is a karmatic relationship that is quite positive for those of you who this message resonates with here. Now, I did pick up that it was more of a business relationship or that kind of a nature rather than a romantic one, but for some of you it may be. Now, with this card here, unrequited love, there's not enough attraction or chemistry in this relationship to keep it going. This is completely separate for somebody who needs to hear it. So if there was a Gemini out there who was sitting there wondering about their relationship, wondering about whether it can keep going, and maybe you've been in a little bit of denial about it, I think this is a message for those particular Geminis. I don't strongly, intuitively, and I'm not hearing or being told or pushed that this is strongly linked to this. I feel like this is a very isolated message for a Gemini who may need to hear it, or maybe even a cross-watcher, someone who is watching this who is involved with a Gemini. I don't know, who's trying to see what might be going on with them through the month of March. I'm not getting a strong feeling that this is linked. This is a very isolated message, so here we go, if you need to hear that. But otherwise, for those of you that the main message has resonated with, this is, I feel, a very positive relationship, a very positive karma one for you, and I wish you the very, very best with it, Gemini, and I hope you have a wonderful March. So I think these are the channeled messages that I'm getting, and I'm just looking at the cards, seeing if there's anything else that's coming through to me, but the main points, the main things that I've been urged to give to you this month, Gemini, have come out. There's not much else here that's coming to me. I'm not being pushed in any other direction with the cards. Yeah. So have a wonderful month. Be careful during Mercury retrograde. As always. Okay, check everything in Mercury retrograde. I hope you have a wonderful month. Thank you for all your likes, shares, subscribes. Those of you who have hung out waiting for me to come back, or have emailed and said, where are you? I'm so sorry that I couldn't be here for a little while, but I am now back. Getting in contact with me is easy. Just check the links, the description box below. You will find me over at the Spiritual Parlour store. Lots of love and light until I see you for your April reading. God, where is the year going? And I'll see you soon. Take care, Gemini. Have a wonderful month.